Music has been influencing humanity's behaviors, tendencies, and ideologies for just as long as humanity has had them. An article written by CMuse in October of 2018 theorizes that music has probably played a significant role in human lives for as long as we've had the ability to speak, and possibly even before verbal communication was well developed. There has been evidence that complements that idea, as scientists have discovered primitive flutes developed by early man, created out of animal bones, and percussion resembling instruments made from wood and stones. According to the Method Behind the Music, a website that describes music mechanics and history, there are still South American and African natives who still follow these ancient religious practices today.
According to an article by the name of The Method Behind the Music, the earliest official known instrument dates back to as far back as 4000 BC in ancient Egypt with the development of harps and flutes. Soon after, trumpets emerged in Denmark and were known as natural trumpets. Created in 2500 BC, the earliest trumpets were valveless and were completely controlled by lips to change the pitch. In 600 BC, a famed Greek mathematician by the name of Pythagoras created the octave scale. Great artistic skills were reached through this time period, and music became a passion for Greeks until it was effectively mastered. Through the Middle Ages, the Catholic religion was rooted in music arts and even created the first music school in Europe. In China, giant orchestras of up to hundreds of musicians performed by 612 AD. The Renaissance also had its role in the development, primarily by the invention of the printing press, which allowed people to print music so that musicians could finally organize musical pieces. This invention was vital to the growth of music. The rules and possibilities for music were finally opened up into a whole new era of influence.
In a study conducted by the University of Central Florida, students explored how music impacts brain function and human behavior. They have found that music reduces stress, pain, and symptoms of depression, as well as improving cognitive and motor skills, spatial temporal learning, and neurogenesis, which is the brain's ability to produce neurons. Your brain's gray matter prefers the same music that you do. According to Oyako Yonatani, the primary researcher in this study, music taste depends on your personal background. Yonatani's research has found that people with dementia respond better to the music they grew up listening to. Yonatani has learned that when you play someone's favorite music, different parts of the brain light up. And according to him, this means that memories associated with music are emotional memories, which never fade out, even in Alzheimer's patients.
Just a word on music. Music is the most powerful sound there is, often inappropriately deployed. It's powerful for two reasons. You recognize it fast and you associate it very powerfully. I'll give you two examples. Most of you recognize that immediately. The younger, maybe not. And most of you associate that with something. Now, those are 1-second samples of music. Music is very powerful, and unfortunately, it's veneering commercial spaces, often inappropriately. I hope that's going to change over the next few years. The third way in which sound affects you is cognitively. You can't understand two people talking at once, or in this case, one person talking twice.
To the other one.
You have to choose which me you're going to listen to. We have a very small amount of bandwidth for processing auditory input, which is why noise like this is extremely damaging for productivity. If you have to work in an open plan office like this, your productivity is greatly reduced, and whatever number you're thinking of, it probably isn't as bad as this. You are 1/3 as productive in open plan offices as in quiet rooms. And I have a tip for you. If you have to work in spaces like that, carry headphones with you with a soothing sound like birdsong, put them on, and your productivity goes back up to triple what it would be.
And why?
I don't really have one specific
genre of music because I feel like there is genre or type of music for every situation. So I listen to music depending on how I'm feeling or how I want to feel.
I personally probably like alternative rock the most, and
Why?
I'd say because of, honestly, I like the instruments used. I like the vocals. I like the, I don't know. Usually the songs have meaning. Usually they're something I can vibe with. I really like Coldplay, Cage the Elephant, Tame Impala. That's more like psychedelic kind of stuff. But I don't know. I like Pink Floyd a lot. I should say I just like anything with rock actually. Anything like psychedelic rock, alternative, all of it, really.
I really like the hip hop genre
Why?
because, like, contrary to popular belief, nowadays people really think hip hop's a certain way, but it actually has, some messages in some of the older songs. For example, like songs by like Kendrick or J. Cole, they actually have like a lot of deeper meaning, and just most of the time the beats in the background are really cool too.
So my favorite genre of music would be R&B, and I think R&B is my favorite music genre due to the fact that it's probably the most lyrical out of all the genres. It always tells a story, whether of love or heartbreak, and what I feel from those is just like, I always feel an emotional connection to the songs, whether the song is happy, about love, or whatever. If it's about heartbreak, then sadness and tears.
What's special to me about my music is it allows me to be exposed to a lot of different cultures because I listen to reggae and a lot of African music and hip hop and R&B, and I feel like that just allows me to be exposed or just be aware of a lot of different cultures that are around our society.
Okay, and what emotion does it invoke?
Maybe peacefulness, maybe happiness. All good emotions, really. Nothing too bad, really. Yeah.
And what do you feel when you listen to this music?
It just gets my mind thinking. It gets my mind off of off of school or whatever, and that's really why I listen to music. But it really just gets me thinking about the world and how we interact with other people and other things.
I agree with that statement 100% because I feel like there is a specific type of music for every situation, which is why you always see people walking around like with music in their, like with their headphones in their heads and like listening to music. It's why you see a lot of people listening to music as they do things, because like music helps you do whatever you're trying to do or feel whatever you're trying to feel. So I totally agree with that.